All right, Shalom. This is Brother Kasha Kwala coming back at you with another lesson, giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace, love, salutation to the 11144 first fruit. Today is going to be a lesson on simplicity, okay, especially when teaching. Okay, make sure when you teach, you're very comprehensible. All right, if that's a word, you can be very understood. Okay, you got to be simple. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and start off with uh, you know, some things of Yahweh Shai. It says Matthew 13:10. It says, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Okay, so let's get the word parable real quick. The word parable is a parabola in the Greek, and it means a placing of one thing by the side of another, juxtaposition as of a ships in battle. It says a comparison of one thing to with another, likeness, similitude. All right. It says an example by which doctrine or precept is illustrated. All right. It says a narrative fictitious but agreeable to the law and uses of human life, but by which either the duties of men or the things of the Most High, particularly the nature of the history of the Most High's kingdom, are figuratively portrayed. There you go. That's a good example. It says figuratively portrayed. Okay, figuratively portrayed. All right, so it's a parable is almost uh, well, of course it's parabolic, but metaphorical. That's why, hence you see right here, number 2, metaphorically. All right, it says, let's see, it says a pithy and instructive saying. Let's look up the word pithy. Okay, pithy. It says a concise or forceful expressive. It says containing much pith. Okay, so even going so further into it, it says a proverb. Okay, so with that being said, a parable is a proverb, and to understand a proverb, you have to take counsel from the wise. So let's get it. Um, it says Proverbs 1 and 2. It says to know and wisdom and instruction to perceive the words of understanding. All right, I'm gonna jump down to verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase in learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto wise counsel. Verse 6. To understand a proverb and the interpretation, the words of the wise and their dark sayings. So to understand a proverb, what? You got to go back to verse 5. A wise man will hear and will increase in his learning, and a man of understanding shall attain unto his wise counsel. Now the disciples were wise because they believed. It's a wise thing to believe in Yahweh Shai. Okay, hence why they came to the wise counsel. All right, and attained. And what did they do? They were willing to increase in learning and willing to hear Yahweh Shai and what he had to say. So they asked him, and the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? So why speak to them complicated and to us simply? All right. It says, verse 11, he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. All right. He spoke plainly unto them. Okay. I'm gonna keep going. It says, for whosoever hath to him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him shall be taken away even that he hath. Therefore I speak speak I to them in parables. Okay, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. All right. Verse 14. And in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. I can go into Isaiah 6 and Isaiah 29. Okay? But what? The Lord spake plainly. The Lord spake plainly into the ears of the disciples. Okay? He was simple with the disciples so they can grow, so they can learn, so they can understand. It's the same thing with us when we go and teach in the highways and byways, and I'm speaking about myself in general. Okay? You are to be simple when you're on the highways and byways. Okay? Sometimes there are topics where you have to get a little complex, but even when the meat starts coming, get your butcher knife out and start cutting the meat down into desirable or what you can say desirable, or what you can say good pieces, you can say. All right, don't just Salakia. Don't just feed chunks of meat to the simple. Okay, so here's another precept to show how you can be simple. Okay, to show how you can be simple. It says, let thy speech be short, comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue. Okay, but the point of the matter is, it says, let thy speech be short. When your speech is short, you're getting quick and to the point. You're being simplistic. Okay, you're getting your point down to what's called the most common denominator. All right, you're getting it down to the most simplistic form. Okay, it says comprehending much in few words. The word comprehend means to understand. It's something called comprehension. All right, so you comprehend much of what someone is saying when they are short in their speech and they're very simplistic in their speech. Actually, you learn better. It's like, hey, bro, what's the answer to 1 + 1? And someone could be like, 2. It's simple, but I understood much in a few words. Another person would be like, okay, well, here's 1 + 1. You take the 1, okay? 1 is the number after 0, okay? So once you take that number, you have to get 2 of those number 1s. Then you have to understand what symbol to use. Is it division? Is it subtraction? Is it addition? Is it multiplication? Okay, which one do you have to use in order to get number 2? No, see, that's complicated. Okay, sometimes it makes sense. He's making sense, but he's drawing on. He's not simplistic with it. But it's just goddamn 2, man. You know what I'm saying? Just be simple. All right. So comprehending much in few words. Be as one that knoweth. Okay. Be as one that knoweth, because what we're men who study the Bible. We're around men who are like minded. Guess what? They're gonna know a little something too. Everybody's gonna know a little something, something. Okay, it might not be on the same measure as another, but everybody's gonna know a little something, something. All right. So be humble with your knowledge as well. It says, "Be as one that knoweth, and yet holdeth his tongue." That's a wise thing to do. Okay. All right. This is Romans chapter 12, and the point I want to get is in verse 7 and 8, but I'm going to start at 3 and read till there. It says, "For I say, through the grace given unto me, to every man that is among you, not to think of himself more highly than he ought to think." Okay? That's knowledge puffing you up, which he spoke about in the book of Corinthians. All right? It says, "But to think soberly, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of his faith." That's right. Like I said earlier with Sirach 32 and 8, it says, "One that knoweth but yet holdeth his tongue." Everybody know a little something, okay? But be soberly minded with that, and be humble with your knowledge. Okay? So let me get that word soberly. The word soberly is as, I guess, or ice, and it means into, unto, towards, for, among. It says in the Strong's definition, place, time. I don't know if this is a word for soberly. Let's see something. No, if it's not, it's all good. But pretty much the word soberly, yeah, it is. But pretty much soberly is being sober, all right, meaning of a sound mind. It says, but to think soberly, to think with a sound mind, all right, according as the Most High have dealt to every man the measure of faith. Verse 4, for as we have many members in one body, and all members have not the same office. That's correct. Your pinky don't have the same office as your brain, man, or as your eyeball. Okay, it doesn't. All right, it does. Your pinky does what it's supposed to do. Your eyeball does what it's supposed to do. It's a different office, but they're and when you put it all together, they're all working together. Okay, because your eye can see where your pinky needs to go to accomplish a task, and then your pinky accomplishes that task, which your eye cannot do. But they both helped each other out. All right. Verse 5, it says, so we, being many, are one body in Yahweh Shai, and everyone members, one of another. Okay, everyone members one of another. That's exactly what I just explained. Your pinky members your eyeball, bro. Okay, because your eye can see what you're doing, in turn, your pinky can do its job. Okay, that's membering one another. Let me see if I get that word member real quick. The word there in the Greek is melos. It says a member, a limb, a member of the human body, of bodies given up to criminal intercourse because they are no. Okay, see, it says a member. All right, a limb, a member of the human body. All right, but here's a good one, of uncertain affinity. All right, when you're affinity with somebody, that means you're at league with somebody. I'm gonna get an example of affinity. All right, affinity. This is 1 Kings chapter 3 and 1. It says, and Solomon made affinity with Pharaoh, king of Egypt. Okay, let's get that word in Hebrew. It's a chatan, and it means to become a son-in-law, make oneself a daughter's husband. Okay, but we understand what when you become one with a woman, you see it. All right, I think it's in it may be in Genesis, the second chapter. Maybe. Let me see. Yes, Genesis 2 and 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. That's exactly what happened here in 1 Kings 3 and 1 when he made affinity with with Pharaoh, the king of Egypt's daughter. Okay, he became one. All right, all right. Make himself one, make oneself a daughter's husband. Okay, he was one with the daughter of Pharaoh. Okay, making affinity, meaning a league. All right, meaning a league. So back to Genesis 2 and 24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, meaning become one, becoming a team. All right, so that's what a member is. Okay, that's exactly what a member is. That's what an affinity is. A limb or a part of the body, a member. Okay, so let's keep going back on track. All right, it says having then gifts differing according to the grace that is given to us, whether prophecy, let us prophesy according to the portion of faith. That's right. So if you heavy into prophecy, man, go with it. Do your thing, man. It says, or ministry, let us wait. And this is the point of the matter here, going into verse 7. It says, or ministry, let us wait on a ministry, or he that teacheth on teaching, or he that exhorteth on exhortation, he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. Okay, so be simple. All right, the word simplicity is hapelotes, and it means in the Greek, and it means singleness, simplicity, sincerity, mental honesty. Okay, when you're brutally honest, you're quick and to the point. Hey, babe, did this make me look fat? Yes, you look fat. It's quick. It's simple. You really see. It may sound harsh, but you're sincere about it, and you're mentally honest about it. Okay. It says the virtue of one who is free from pretense and hypocrisy. Okay. When you're simple, there's no room to be judged as a hypocrite. All right. There's no room to be judged as a hypocrite. All right. Prime example of you wanting to be simple in this thing. I think it's in Matthew 12. Let's get it. All right. It says Matthew 12 and 36, but I say unto you that every idle word that men shall speak, they shall give account thereof in the day of judgment. All right. For by the words thou shalt be just. For by thy words thou shalt be justified, and by thy words thou shalt be condemned. So if you complex and you always saying something big or whatever, and you ain't simple with your things, you're gonna get caught up, and you're gonna have to take account of every idle word you said. But what if you shorten your speech? If you shorten your speech and you're easy to understand and you're quick, I believe, I have faith. I believe the Lord is real. And quick with it, even when you teach. Then guess what? It's gonna make your walk easier. It's gonna make everybody else's walk easier because they can comprehend and understand what you're trying to portray. All right. So even so, when you teach, man, be simple. All right, be simple. It says, "He that ruleth with diligence, he that showeth mercy with cheerfulness." Okay. Let me get one more precept, and I'm gonna close it out. All right. This is 1 Corinthians chapter 2 and 1. And I, brethren, when I came to you, came not with excellency of speech or of wisdom, declaring unto you the testimony of the Most High. Meaning Paul didn't come in no complicated route. He's like, look, man, this is what it is. This is exactly what it is, and this is what I believe, and this is what you should believe too, okay? Whether you believe it or not, I'm going to keep on pushing according to Romans 3 and Romans chapter 3, verse 3 and 4, okay? It says, yeah, that's about it. So, let me get one more precept. It says, 1 Corinthians 3 and 1, and I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even as unto babes in Yahushua Mashiach. That's right. Meaning simple. You don't speak trigonometry to a 2-year-old toddler. You just don't, bro. Okay? Geometry and advanced mathematical equations and stuff. You don't do that. You don't speak excellency in speech using big words like philosophy, even though it's not a big word, but you don't do that stuff with a little kid. You be simple with him. Verse 2, it says, I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye were not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able. Okay? Verse 3, for ye are yet carnal, for whereas there is among you envying and strife and division, are ye not carnal and walk as men? Okay? So there you go. Paul had to speak simple and not of excellency in speech, and he talked about it in Romans the 12th chapter of being he that giveth, let him do it with simplicity. And when you teaching, you giving, okay? You're giving a portion of the knowledge and the measure of knowledge that the Lord handed over to you and relinquished over to you. So just be simple with it so men can understand you. Because you got to remember, every time you teach, you ain't speaking to a man of understanding. You may be speaking to somebody who may be intrigued with this and is looking to turn their ways. And if you speaking too much meat and too much whatever, then guess what? They're gonna fall off or go by the wayside because they don't understand. The apostles and elders been in this for 3 decades, and every single one of their videos they speak simplistically. Okay, you should know after 30 years and some odd change of being in the scriptures, you know a little something. Okay, because they're diligent. You know a little something, a lot of something. Okay, but yet they still keep it simple with us. So what's some more? We have to keep it simple with the men who are coming in as well, being young men. Okay, I know we're zealous, Okay, let me get the word zealous real quick. I know we're zealous, and we love to get points across, and we love to teach, but sometimes you just gotta dumb it down, for a lack of better words. All right, the word zealous is full of zeal. Let's just get the word zeal. Zeal is passionate, ardor in pursuit of an objective, a course of action. All right, zeal and emulation. All right, it says a noble passion. All right, and also zeal. It says to request, to seek, and desire. All right, a devotion. Okay, also zeal. When you go into it, I'm just gonna get the Google definition. Um, it means to be enthusiastic. All right, it says great energy or enthusiasm in pursuit of a cause or an object. Okay, so sometimes us being overzealous can make us confusing in our teachings. So you got to simplify yourself and control your zeal. You know. So Lord willing, that lesson was edifying and encouraging. All right. And this is your brother Kasha Quala from the GMS Atlanta Church, giving all glory, honor, and praises unto Yahweh, Bashem, Yahweh Shai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who were well. Peace, love, salutation to the 1144 first fruit. Until next time, I want to say shalom.